Hi, welcome to Roll for Bull. I am your GM, Ben Competence. We are an actual play stream, but right now we are not playing Dungeons, nor are we playing Dragons. Oh, we are getting rated. Hello, Stolen Fires. You're just in time because we're playing a very different type of game today. We are playing City of Mist, a modern noir mystery series infused with myth and magic. A personal favorite of mine. Hello, Binboya. And yes, we read the chat while we play. We love to talk. You guys can give advice. If you don't have any spoilers, you can try and solve the mystery alongside them, I suppose. We're just glad you're here. So, this is the first session of a new mini adventure that we're having, a new little miniature campaign. I will be running the story City of Mist, which is powered by the Apocalypse, all narrative cinematic gameplay. I'm going to introduce my daring undetectives. And so, do we say that? Do we say hi, daring undetectives? I don't know.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
You didn't tell us to say hi.
Say sup.
So,
Suh?
There we go. That's it. That's it. So, Ravensdale, hello. Tammy, I rolled you to go first, so I would like you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your character, both parts of them. And I ask all my players a question each session. This time I asked them, what is your favorite mystery? Any answer will do. Tammy?
Okay, so I'm Tammy, and tonight I'll be playing Jade Tamsin. She is a professional organizer who also has a little touch of chaos at times. And honestly, her favorite mystery is people.
Now, in City of Mist, everybody is a person that is infused with a myth, a fiction. And I will go through. Actually, you know what? I will explain that right now because I would like you to explain your character. Because for the people that are watching in City of Mist, it takes place in a city, the big city, where all the crime and tragedy and beauty and opportunity happen. And in this place, the mist that crawls through isn't just ambiance, aesthetic. It's actually infused with every mythology, every fiction, every urban legend, every horror story, every fairy tale lives within the mist. And some parts of the mist have been inhaled by different people in the city who have been chosen to be blessed with those powers. And Tammy, your character, I'm going to ask you again her name and also what myth she's bonded with.
Okay, so then, again, my name is Jade, and I'm a professional organizer, so think Marie Kondo. But my mythos is Loki, the trickster god, who does like a little bit of chaos at times, which is quite the dichotomy for her being a professional organizer.
Allison, if you'd be so kind.
Allison?
You did your headphone.
Oh, no! Sorry, I didn't want anyone to hear me slurp my soup. Hi, I'm Allison, or Allie. And my character is CJ Beldam, and she is an au pair who is touched with a little bit of the other mother from Coraline. And
Absolutely perfect.
my favorite myth or mystery is probably the Bermuda Triangle.
Wonderful. Read, if you'd be so kind.
I would be so kind. So...
Well, good, because I don't have a plan if you're not.
I'm playing Miguel O'Halloran, who goes by MC. And he's a private eye here in the big city. And he is infused with the mythos of the city itself. And
I don't think... Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Oh, you had a comment.
Your mystery.
Yeah, my mystery. I'm going to go with Who Shot Mr. Burns, because that was like a cultural touch point for me.
It was. I want to just say, I don't think Reed knows this, but the name for Game Master in City of Mist is MC. And the
Power
mythos
move.
that he the mythos that he chose was the city itself. Like, in every way, Reed has just asserted himself. And I gotta respect that. He ends up becoming the leader of the story a lot of the times, and I think he's just taking that at face value this time, so I respect that. Welcome. Like I said, if you are watching, you're welcome to chat with us during the stream. We see it. In fact, thank you, Ravensdale, for your feedback. And we are glad to discuss things. We may even poll the audience. Who knows? Are we ready to begin?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Question.
Music synced perfectly for that. Hit me.
What's your favorite mystery? God.
UVB 76. There is a radio signal broadcasting from Russia that is just a blaring that goes every once in a while. Not every once in a while, continuously. It has been unbroken for something like 20 or 30 years.
Oh.
And no one really knows what it's doing, but there's enough evidence to confirm that the signal is being broadcast live and that there's someone in the room verifying that it's never interrupted. You can actually go online and put in the frequency and listen to a live stream of it.
Interesting.
I like white noise, and I used to listen to it while I worked. UVB 76.
It's
Look
how
it
they
up.
keep Putin moving.
My wife is glaring at me because it's one of the only horror stories she genuinely finds uncomfortable. She'll watch like horror, murder, gore porn, and she'll be like, okay. And then I tell her UVB 76, she's like, turn off the radio, turn it off.
Well, it could be getting subliminal messages.
No, I don't think that's likely. Hail Putin. So anyway, at the beginning of this session,
Haha.
in the city, in Reed's detective agency, the Undetectives, I'm going to give you guys all of your tags. In the Undetectives agency, Reed, what would you name your agency? The actual business itself.
The business is Eyes of the City Investigations.
Eyes of the City Investigation. I love it. You are here. Your allies are here. This is maybe a meeting, a meetup, a hangout. You are three, I want to say detectives, but we know that's not entirely accurate. What you are is Reed is a detective. The other two are people with a penchant for investigation who have resolved to help with crimes that bring down the rich, the powerful, the corrupt. They call
I
themselves the
legally
Undetectives.
snoop.
You legally snoop.
Hmm.
And as our heroes are there at the investigation at the office one day, this story begins like a lot of these stories do, with a knock at the door. When each of you turns, you see a smallish figure running away, almost as quickly as they appeared. That is our setup, that is our beginning, and it is anybody's action. Good luck.
Don't worry, I'll get it. I'll go to the door and open up the door and see, is there something there? Has something been left?
You open the door and you see no one there. You hear footsteps running down the stairs, but you see a note on the door. And the note is very simple. It says, "Please help us. We are in danger. Sharks in Miller Square." Each letter cut out from some different source, some newspaper, some magazine, something, all bright and colorful. But all of these letters cut out, and then a picture of a shark drawn crudely under it. And you have this right here. It's anybody's action, what they want to do, and feel free to ask me if you need help knowing what actions are allowed in the game rules.
Can I take a look at the... Well, I'm going to bring in the note first,
Mm-hmm.
I suppose, and show it to the
Sure.
rest. Well, looks like we've got some cry for help.
Oh, I'll be walking in behind, and I'll just kind of look on the table at the letter. I'm like, wow, real original way to do it. And then I'll grab a chair and flip it around and kind of straddle it with my arms on the back of the chair.
Your character is 180 from what I expected. That is phenomenal. Reed, I'll walk you through how to examine this note. So basically, in City of Mist, you don't in D&D you have like a list of you could do anything, and then the GM sort of tells you what skill you'd roll for that. The difference for City of Mist is I have a list of moves I sent you. These are all they're in our Discord chat. The list of moves are everything that you guys can do in the entire game. The most important ones are on the first page. Audience, just trust me on this. So you guys have about 8 moves on the first page. And when you want to do something, you pick one of them. For this, you could do investigation or investigate. Now, what investigate is you roll a die, and the better you do, the more questions you get to ask me directly, the GM. Bear in mind 2 things. 1, my answers will be filtered through what your character would know right now. Like, if you roll the die, you wouldn't be able to look at it and go, "Who's the arch villain of the story?" Because the note wouldn't tell you. So you'd be able to filter it through there. Secondly, let's walk through how to roll a die. So go to your character page on the border on the right and click on Miguel O'Halloran. Everyone can do that since they can all see the characters and it'll help everyone to follow along. So go to Miguel O'Halloran. Now I want you to tell me, you have a list of traits that describe your character. Which traits do you believe are vital to you, crucial to you being able to investigate this paper? Not would help, but are like crucial.
Well, private eye. The fact
Okay.
that I'm, literally do this for a living.
Okay, perfect.
Do I need
Anything else?
multiples or?
You can
just-
stack them if you have others that are also vital to your process. You can stack them.
I might get a sense of something about the newspapers from my connection with the city through divination.
Okay. So I'll give you those 2. So you click on those 2. Like click on the box by private eye, not the fire, but the box.
Okay. Nope. No, that's not it.
And then click on the always sense the city under knows the streets.
Okay.
Sorry, where are we seeing this?
This is on the character page on the when you click on your character sheet at the board in the on the right, click on Miguel O'Halloran's character sheet.
Oh, okay, we're looking at his.
Yes. Now at the top you have a menu that says investigate. I want you to roll investigate. Click on that for me.
Oh,
Okay.
Now you rolled a 2d6. Now let's break down these numbers. Fuck. Okay, he got a critical success, folks. So this already begins with a problem for a GM. So you roll 2d6 and you add your number of advantages. You had 2, so you roll 2d6 plus 2. Good job. If you get an 11 or a 10 or above, you succeed right out. Good for you. Bully for you. You get 7 through 9. You succeed in a way where there's some sort of complication. The GM can sort of fuck with you a little bit, something like that. You get a 6 or below, GM just fucks with you. Now, you got an 11, so you actually critically succeeded. When you succeed in something, the amount of the effect depends on how many powers you invoked. You invoked 2 powers. Is everyone following me on this so far?
Okay.
So Reed, you can ask me any 2 questions you want that your character would be able to glean from investigating the newspaper, the paper this way.
Okay. Would asking about the place named in it, would that necessarily?
Yeah, you can ask about that.
Would that?
You can try and
Okay.
see what you know about that. Yeah.
Yeah, if I know anything about sharks or the square.
You think about it, Miller Square is a small neighborhood in downtown, mostly forgotten. You know the police there, Precinct 23, watch over it. You know that basically it's like a small commercial area, like a shopping center, more or less. But it's like small time, a pizza place, a mom and pop shop, a laundromat, things like that. It's like it's a shopping center for like a small, more rundown neighborhood. It's landlocked. This city does have a bay, a coast, but this is deeply landlocked, so there aren't sharks there.
Okay.
Miller Square is the type of place that the 1% would have never heard of. Let's put it that way. You get one more question, my friend.
Okay. From what I can sense about sort of the origins of this paper, did it come from the Miller Square area, or was it from another area in the city?
You know where the paper's from. You mean the note, like the individual letters, or the
Yeah,
writing of it, or?
the individual letters. I'm hoping, say the magazine's been at a magazine stand for who knows how long, picked up some residual energy.
These letters are from all over the city, and some of them are from outside of the city. They were not like, oh, I went to a store and grabbed several magazines. You know what I mean? Like the different papers that these were pulled from all kinds of different places that sell publications, including some that are outside of your jurisdiction.
Okay.
You pull in, I'm going to say narratively, you pull in and you can almost see the letters and see their stories of the local liquor store, of a supermarket, of a library, of a used bookstore, of a comic book shop, of out of town being brought in on a mail truck, of all these different origins. Like you see these lists of different origins of whenever they came into your awareness.
Okay.
Anybody's action what they want to do. You can investigate further, do something else. I also want to clarify that the way that the mysteries of City of Mist work, I think I've described this, the reverse pyramid. You'll have a long list of places you might want to go to, and then that will lead to a more narrow list, which will lead to a more narrow list until you are, as a group, 100% sure where the final confrontation is. So right now, there aren't really wrong answers as to where to go.
Well, if
Except
nothing
Thailand.
else, if there are sharks in Miller Square, I want to check this out. It's not something you see every day.
It's true.
I think you're thinking about it way too literally. Like, it's probably like money sharks, money lending, the seedy underground where people don't talk about it.
Yeah, but that's
Like,
less fun.
seriously, sharks on land, really.
Hey,
Um,
I've seen stranger things.
And there were sharks in that show, too. Sorry, what were you going to say, Allie?
I was gonna ask, so if I wanted to, like, would it still be investigate if I was just trying to tell, like, what I know about something?
Yeah. If
Okay.
you're going to ask the GM for information, it's investigate.
Okay. Do I know if...
Let's start with you're doing the investigation action.
Yes.
So what power tags are you using to investigate?
I would like to use the power tag A Thing for Games
Okay.
to investigate whether or not gambling or betting goes on in Miller Square. Is that...
You know what?
think if I would know
Interesting.
that?
Is that something your character would... You know what? Does your character get involved in gambling and betting? This isn't. I see your thing for games. We talked about it. It's not like an omnipresent knowledge of games, but it is. You know how
Yes.
games work and stuff like that. So, like,
Yeah.
would your character be aware of gambling and stuff like that in there if there was any?
Honestly, probably not.
Okay.
So I don't have anything else to use then. Never mind.
Well, you might have something. You have. I don't know. You have I know what you want. To maybe to read an aura of this paper. Driven to compassion to maybe understand the needs of the person that wrote this or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever angle you want to go. Which one?
If that would work, then I would like to use driven to compassion
Mhm.
to see if I can, like, tell when they say help, are they talking about them personally, or are they talking about, like, I guess that would be a question I would ask you after
Yeah. Okay.
rolling, right?
So you check. So click off driven to compassion.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I clicked on it. Click on it again.
Oh. Okay.
And if I don't know if there's anything else you want to roll on.
I don't know that can't lie to me would apply here because I'm not.
I don't think it would. Yeah, because you're not dealing with a person one-on-one. There's no context for whether they're lying.
Okay, then that would probably be it.
Or you know what? Yeah, you know what? I could say can't lie to me if you're trying to verify the sincerity of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So then just click investigate.
Click investigate, and tell everybody your number.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd have to be able to see my number. Hold on a moment.
It's in the chat.
Just gotta go back over here and then. Oh, it's a mild success, but I don't know what the number is.
It should say
It's a
number
7.
result 7.
No,
7?
yeah, I have my little cards on top of it, so I couldn't see. But yes, 7.
You have a 7. What a 7 means is that I can add a little bit of a complication. So I get to choose one thing to maybe fuck with you guys a little bit. My options include that the answer I give you puts you in harm's way, or I give you an incomplete fuckery answer, or I get to ask you a question as well. Like if you're interrogating an NPC, they can ask you a question. I won't get to do that one. I'm going to tell you that what you can tell is that this person was asking for help for everybody around them and at great personal risk. And someone may be in immediate danger. Something about that was deliberately fucky on my part, and I won't tell you what. But those are that's your information. You guys can investigate more, do other moves, or you can try and go down to Miller Square.
Before we do go anywhere, I don't know what this would fall under for mine, but I would basically want to take a look at the letter and like all the little letters. And you know, sometimes when you're using like glue or a glue stick, you leave like a partial fingerprint.
Oh,
I want
fuck
to check
you.
that. Or I want to
Fuck
check,
you.
see if they were picky and use little tweezers.
So you want to get like a personality read off this person by how they cut it up and stuff like that. And
No,
if,
I
also
just
if they
want to
left,
see. No,
if they have a
if they had left a fingerprint.
Okay.
I'm not wanting to know if their uncle touched them the wrong way when they were growing up. Not like that. I just want to see if they left a partial fingerprint. Not necessarily reading more than that.
Okay, which tags are you using?
That's where I said I'm not entirely sure. Maybe like professional snoop.
Snoop, yeah, professional snoop would be very good.
I check that off.
Mm-hmm. And if you have anything else you want, you can get that too. But I think that's good.
How do I know if I have more than one thing that would fall under investigate?
It's whatever you want to pitch. Basically, you have to, if it's a thing that is, let me put, if it's something that is required for you to do this the way that you're doing it, then it's a professional thing. Like, I'm right, everyone else is wrong can be used for like social confrontations and stuff like that. But like, you can't say, oh, I'm so sure that I'm right, I get a boost here. Like that doesn't work for this.
Yeah.
But like, because your professional snooping is how you know fingerprints, it's literally what makes it possible. You can do that. So any tag that is fundamentally core to how you're allowed to do this is something you can tag off. You just have to, check in with me first.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh no.
I can do 3?
Yeah, technically you could just keep stacking power tags until the GM throws their book at you.
Oh.
Wow. As long as they are fundamentally core to how you're making your move happen. If you want to see their motivation, see the thought process of the person doing this.
Yes, because if they're planning on just yanking us and setting us on a wild goose chase, they will be meticulous and not be sloppy with their glue or whatnot. But if they're actually desperate for help, this would have been slapped together real super quick in my
Your
brain.
psychological profile of them is phenomenal. Okay, you have 3. Roll for it.
All right. And
Roll
that's just click
investigate.
on investigate.
hmm
Okay. And
See, the system's real complicated until it's not.
yeah. Okay, so
you
that
get-
is a 10. Great success.
10, great success. You may ask me 3 questions that, again, I will filter through the lens of you only have access to this note.
Okay. So then it basically, do I see, was it a sloppy glue job? Do I potentially have any fingerprints, or is it like meticulous where they're not leaving any trace of anything?
I'll give you a great success. You look through as a snoop, you've cleaned a lot of messes. And as your eyes light up with this, what color would your eyes be if they were lit up with Loki energy?
I feel green.
Your eyes light up green, crackling energy glosses over as you see almost the moment that this was made. The cuts are uneven. Some of the letters are cut off. Some of the glue is too big, like too much. It's not only sloppy, it's desperate. You see one of the letters, there's a small snipper, it was cut once on accident before used again. This was done at a moment's notice by someone who has no experience doing anything like this whatsoever. That's question 1.
Okay.
Question 2, and you saw this because of chaos of seeing their motivation and the chaos and disorder in here, so your questions should probably be structured in that lens.
So then, based on this,
I want to
way that
also want
this-
to point out, I want to clarify, if you guys are tapping into your mythos, it doesn't need to be logical deductions that a mortal could make. You're sensing the chaos and the mischief and the desperation that happened here, so you don't need to justify it as like as something a real person can deduce.
So then I'm getting a sense that this is genuine. It's definitely a cry for help, is
Yes.
essentially what you're saying. Okay.
Yes.
So I'll definitely mention that. Is the glue even still wet? Like, has it been that, they thought about it and prepared it and were thinking about maybe or not delivering it, or
This was
they
made
finished
today.
it and brought it? Okay.
This was made today.
Okay.
And also it's a little bit crumpled, like it was in a pocket.
Mm-hmm.
It was held to the door with scotch tape, which was insufficient.
I'm still wanting to potentially see if I can get that either with the scotch tape or glue. Am I able to see any type of fingerprint that we can kind of get the ball rolling on, seeing if we can figure out anything about this, at least one person?
You can get a fingerprint. I can give you a fingerprint. I don't know what you want to get from it, but you do have a fingerprint.
I want to run it through that system that everybody seems to have in all the cop shows.
Oh,
just to see if I can get a hit codex
Genesis
or
app,
something.
otherwise known as Gen.
Yeah. Yes.
Yay.
Feed it to Jen and see if we can maybe get anything on it.
Okay, so your crew theme has tower tags that you can use like this, but you can only use each tag once per episode, basically.
Mhm.
So you can use the Gen one to make one tag and then ask for it, and then it's kind of burned out.
Okay, yeah, no, I think that's not worth using up at this point here.
You can hold on to it for
Do it.
later.
Yeah. Was it on the piece of scotch tape or was it on the glue?
It was on the scotch tape. A little bit on
Okay.
the glue too.
Yeah. Tammy doesn't know, but somehow Jade would know how to preserve this so that we could use it later on.
You lift up the tape and set it down carefully somewhere.
You know what, MC? I think you can handle this, right?
Which MC are you talking to, apparently?
Ours. we're not breaking the fourth wall. You don't exist to us as characters.
Wow, it's high school all over again. Okay.
What are you sitting at our table for? Really? No, I didn't mean it. It's the persona here.
So, what do you guys want to do now? Did we lose somebody?
No, I'm just muted. Nobody heard my awesome joke. Oh well.
Oh, Reed made an amazing joke, and
Yeah.
none of you guys heard it, and we're good.
Yeah, because I had to clear my throat and I didn't want the whole
Oh.
internet to hear my gorge.
Aw.
Anyway, if Jade manages to pull up a fingerprint, then I will do the needful and get that saved,
get what?
preserved.
Okay. We have one preserved fingerprint.
Oh, I haven't heard that term in a while.
What?
Do the needful.
We get it at
Oh.
work all the time.
I see. So, what's the plan now?
Well, I think
Let's
we need
go
to
find
to
us some
Noise.
sharks.
Yeah, what's the worst that
Dude.
can happen?
They'll be there.
We'll find out. 15 sharks with boxing gloves on.
Where's
You
the
go-
baby shark? Do, 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 do.
What if the mythos of Baby Shark is a villain?
Oh,
I mean, I
technically
was
allowed.
gonna assume that the Jets would be on the other side, but
Yeah. You guys head down to Miller's Square. It is a depressed place, but beautiful in its own sense of beauty and determination. And it's the fact that the people here they not only get by, they fight to keep going. You see a few places. You see a florist shop called Los Ramos. You see a pizza place called Laser Hot Pizza. You see a laundromat, Century Laundromat, a liquor store. You see a few places on the map here. Pawnbrokers, Second Chances. Sandra's, another store, closed for right now. You also see the One Stop Shop, a corner liquor store with police tape all around it. Sort of recent, but also dangling, haphazard. Almost like someone put it up when they had 15 minutes left on their shift. The door is locked, and the lights are out. Now, I mentioned before the reverse pyramid of you being able to go anywhere. Any of these locations can potentially help you with your case. Some might be dead ends. But you tell me where you want to go, and I'll be glad to answer what I can. And you guys can even split up. It's not like you need like a tactical formation like D&D. Also, you're all gods, so fights are a little easier.
it's a dark night in Miller Square.
Oh, I thought there was going to be more. I was
Yeah, I
I was so psyched for the
We're all
monologue.
waiting.
No, that was the joke. I guess that too. Frank Miller, Dark Knight. Come on.
Oh, Allie, what do you want to do?
I actually do have
was
something
Reed's
I'd
turn.
like to do.
All right. What would you like to do?
I would like to invoke my my yeah, you know, my
Your mythos?
mythos
Mhm.
to create a like small doll puppet and have it kind of see what's going on inside behind the police tape.
Okay. So, a lot of people that don't know City of Mist right now are going to hear what Allie just said and go, is that possible? That's not possible. It's possible, motherfuckers. Buckle up for some rulings. So, there is a move in City of Mist called Change the Game. And when you change the game, you create a new variant on the scene. And this can be very open-ended what that means. A new variant can mean everybody is frightened of your magic. Your new variant can mean you summoned a shadow demon. A new variant can be that you've I don't know, you've plugged in and become a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Changing the game changes a part of the situation in any way. It's very open-ended. So, when you change the game, you choose a number of power tags you want to use, and then you roll. If you succeed, this app will basically pull up a menu of things that you can buy with the power tags. You'll need, it's a little less flashy than I'm making it sound, but you can create an ally that can do one thing for you and then disappear. But if you use 2 points, you can create an ally that's in the scene for ongoing. You could just create sentient allies. That's allowed. So my question to you is which perks are you going to use to activate this?
So I was gonna use 3. I was gonna
Oh
use
boy,
Button-Eyed Mimics,
check it.
Through
Check it
My
off.
Work's Eyes,
Yep.
and Avoid Suspicion on my adaptation.
Okay, so check off the 3 of those, and then depending on how this rolls, we'll let you describe what this looks like cinematically. But check off all 3, and then click change the game, and we'll go from there. Did you click off all 3?
I did.
You did. You got 9. 9 is a regular success. Okay. So you made a success. You can't make it ongoing because you need to roll higher than that. You need to get stronger than that. But you can create. So basically, a story tag is anything you can imagine that could possibly be invoked for assistance. So that would be a little Button-Eye Mimic ally.
Okay.
You can give a status effect. You can also, I guess, burn a power tag or story tag, like use something up, like in the room, like or just destroy something. So you have 3 points. I want you to describe what you're making. I want walk me through the cinema of this.
So I'll take out my little clutch and I'll pull out my single needle from in there. I'll take my gloves off so that I can work a little bit more dexterously. And as I tap into my mythos and my gloves come off, my eyes go fully black.
Mm-hmm.
And I prick my finger with the needle,
Mm-hmm.
and just from where the blood falls on the ground, just a small little, like, almost, it looks like a marionette that looks like me appears. And it kind of like hobbles into the store as I stand like leaning against the wall.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So I'm going to say you create this. So you can use 3 points. You can create a story tag of this thing. You won't be able to, I think, what is it? Yeah, you need to get a 10 or higher to be able to make it ongoing. So you'd be able to use it once and then it would sort of fade away, right?
Okay.
So you create this little marionette and it sort of like hobbles over. Is it trying to sneak into you want it to sneak into the store?
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to sneak into the store so that I can get eyes on the scene without physically being inside.
Okay, because it's temporary, I will let you can send it in because it's supposed to only be able to do one thing. So I guess it can sneak in and then get a good look at the whole store, walk in and investigate. Let's let you sneak in. It's gonna run around and sort of takes off, goes to the front door, this little mimic thing, looks at it, and then just sort of like hobbles and walks, sort of almost like the gingerbread man you'd imagine, runs around the side. You get a tugging of like a string behind your eyes. This thing wants to show you what it sees. After you accept this, it'll burn out because it's a temporary action. Are you accepting this? Do you accept charges?
I do accept charges.
I'm gonna let you sneak in. So here's the deal. Here's how this works, and this will make sense in a moment. You created a pocket mimic, I'm gonna call it, as a tag, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you create the pocket mimic. We put the tag in the scene, in the map. Do you guys see on the Roll20, I put a little tag pocket mimic there?
Mm-hmm.
So Allie, you can now do an investigation check and invoke the pocket mimic as your tag that gives you a +1.
Okay.
So I want you, because your other skills wouldn't help you here because, you're outside the building, they wouldn't be relevant.
Yeah.
but you could use this one. So use do an investigate check with and just add 1 on your sheet. Like it'll be an option to add 1 without, citing a source.
Okay.
Give a +1, and then this tag will be used up, and you can investigate and ask 1 question about the inside of the store.
Okay. So just hit investigate.
After you've had the +1, there you go.
Yeah.
6. You
Man,
miss.
I cannot roll tonight.
So I get to basically, if you fail a roll completely, I get to add a little bit of a move that makes the game a little trickier for all of you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, so before I explain what I'm doing, let me tell you that people that are not plugged into the mythos physically can't appreciate or understand what they're seeing, so their mind reflexively comes up with an explanation. If they see a fire dragon burn down the building, they will just go, oh wow, that gas leak was bad, something like that. So you're looking around through these eyes and you see the inside of the liquor store. Everything shut off, the lighting's really bad, and then all of a sudden your eyes start to rise up in the air, and you hear this voice go, oh, what's that?
Shit.
Some kid left their doll here. This is I need to be a little bit more careful. And they sit down, and you hear the door lock before the power seeps out of the doll. I'm gonna put a status on the building, and the status of the building is that it is watched. Anything that requires anything that would actually have to do with whether eyes are on it would have a plus or minus 1 on their roll depending on the circumstances. Now, Allie, if you want to succeed outright, there is a thing called burning for a hit. And if you burn for a hit, you click the fire next to your ability. You immediately are considered to have rolled a 10 and used 3 power tags. But if you burn for a hit, that ability is locked out until you get a chance for this game's equivalent of a long rest. So you do not have to do that. But if you really, really want to get in there, there is an option.
Yeah, what the hell? Let's do it.
Which ability are you burning out?
I'll burn out button-eyed mimics. Well, actually, no. I'll burn out through my creation's eyes.
Okay, so and I guess in that context, you'd be looking through that doll again? The same
Yes,
one?
I'd be looking
Okay.
through the doll again, but I won't be able to look through my creations.
All right, so click through my work's eyes, the fire next to it.
Okay.
And after you click on that fire, it should give you a +3. If it doesn't, let me know. And then click, is it giving you a +3?
It is not, but
Okay.
I can just add it if you want.
Yeah, add it, and then click on investigate.
Are you kidding me right now?
No, you.
Oh my God! I was still looking at the 6.
Yeah, me too. You get a 13, because it should be, what was it? It should be, what was it? Burning for a hit should be the thing, so it should happen immediately. Okay. You do this. How does this work for you, burning for a hit? Are you like infusing extra power into it, exerting yourself further or something like that? Okay, so you sort of close your eyes. The others are watching as you close your eyes, really focus, almost as like Beldam's body almost goes limp, like a mannequin standing there in the middle of the street. As
I'll
you
catch
focus
her.
all of your energy onto this puppet, the cop sort of goes, I'm just I don't want to report this whole thing. Kids leaving their damn toys everywhere. Sets it down and walks off. And then the second he walks off, the doll just sort of pops down and runs back into the store again, like, runs in. Through the puppet's eyes, you have a perfect view of the inside of the store. You see that it's completely shut down. You also see that the door to the back room is wide open. When the puppet walks around and looks in, you see in that room a bunch of police tape and markers indicating where evidence is. And in the middle of the room, you see a stool knocked over And on the ceiling, you see a rope.
Okay.
And nothing else here at the moment. Allie or Beldam, you get 3 questions about this scene that I've described to you. Through the eyes of a puppet. Through the eyes of a puppet.
Um, let's see. Do I see any? I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious what was going on here.
Is it?
Is any of the is any of the other evidence, like, does it look like it might have anything to do with like money? Like, is there stuff on the floor that might be like, I don't know, like receipts, or I don't know, something along the lines of like financial hardship? Is there anything
Okay.
indicating that?
Let me see here. 1 second. The puppet sort of walks around and sort of just like walks in, looking with like a little sense of purpose, goes over and goes to the cash register and stuff and like starts looking through where like books are held and just finds a bunch of books and just starts slamming them down. A moment later, I'm in too love with this puppet. I'm too in love with this puppet. Flips it open and just finds these pages and finds all finances of this book. You see a very large influx of money in the book, followed by very, very rapid loss of money, followed by what would clearly be near bankruptcy. You have 2 more questions about the inside of the store, as your doll will see.
Okay.
Detective Doll.
Well, while we're in the City of Mist, is there anything that indicates the presence of literal sharks, like water or anything aquatic looking
Your
left
doll,
behind?
your doll jumps down and trots through this store, looking around. The visual's so cute in my head, and I'm just trying to bring it to you guys.
Good job.
And it saunters. It jaunts back into the other room, where it stands immediately under the chair, and sort of this shaky thing, and you feel in your head. You can smell seawater, salt in the breeze, the ocean. That's question number 2.
All right. And question number 3, are there any indications that anyone else has been in here sneakily, maybe like who shouldn't have been after it was made a crime scene?
You look around, and you would see, you'd see a picture of the. You look up at the rope, and the rope is. I'm gonna say it's a cord actually. It's like a power cord cable, and the cord's not is actually pretty haphazard. And you think it, and your little mimic looks at it, and then looks over and sees a picture of the business owner with his family. He was a very large man. A well-made knot would have struggled, and this was not a well-made knot.
I see.
Your little mimic buddy hears footsteps and just immediately dulls again and collapses to the floor.
Full Toy Story.
Yeah. We are. Allie, I forgot how much we talked about this story before. I gotta swap some things.
I don't think we got much further than Miller's Square.
That's true. Reed or Tammy, is there anything either of you guys want to do right now?
After you got caught the first time, would you have mentioned that you got caught by the cops?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I would have let you know I was gonna try again.
I'm gonna make my way around the back of the building there, towards the same entrance. That
Towards the one-stop shop?
yeah, towards the one-stop shop where Allie's mimic went in. Once you
Mhm.
know she's sort of safely put away, maybe I'll leave her with Jade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna saunter up and see if I
Keep in
can
mind,
find this
in this
police
area,
officer.
in this area, any roles that would be affected by the fact that this place is now being more carefully watched might get a minus or +1 appropriately. Just clarify. If you go over, you might find this police officer. You find this guy, and he looks at you, and he goes, "Evening. You should probably stay a little bit away from this. It's a crime scene."
Hey, no problem. I understand. I'm in the business too. Don't worry about it.
And you politely leave, and that's the scene. No.
Hell of a night, eh? I'm going to
I
pull
guess.
out a carton of smokes. I'm gonna
Pack
pull
of
one.
smokes?
Yeah,
Or a whole carton?
yeah, a whole carton of smokes. Just bring them around. I'll take one
Smoke?
out.
Not
I'll
like me.
Take one out. I'll light it, and then I'll offer the other one. But instead of a cigarette hanging out the end, it's a $50 bill.
Okay. Let me think on a second. He's so basically in this game, you guys can invoke tags. I say like I mentioned tags like in the scene. You guys can create tags, but you can also invoke a tag that would realistically be there. Do you know what I mean? So like Reed, you would have $50. So like if you're trying to like investigate by bribing this guy or something, you could cite the $50 bill or whatever. If there are $50 bills, $50 as a power tag in your role. Does that make sense?
Do they not have $50 in the States?
I don't. I'm very
Yes.
poor.
Okay.
Yes, I took one at work today. They exist.
Okay, good.
This is what it means to be lower middle class and have to not even know what the monies are.
I don't know what the monies are, but at least in Canada they're color coded, so I know the 50s are red.
All right, you pay him a red. So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to So from my understanding, is this like a investigation? Are you trying to convince him to be on your side?
Yeah, I'm just trying to grease the wheels, see if I can get some information about what's going on here.
Oh, let me clarify. The list of moves. Are you using investigate? Or are you using convince on the list?
What would this be? Like, if I'm trying to get him to give me some information, that would probably be investigation, right?
Investigation, yeah. You can try and convince somebody to like give you, because convince is like basically trying to manipulate somebody into doing a specific thing, like an action or something. You could also, this is weird. You could also change the game and try to give him a status effect of bribed or indebted to you, because a status effect can be anything. So you could just you could try and change the game with the logos power and try and basically mechanically inflict a status condition of corrupted or bribed, which would then affect future rolls.
Yeah, maybe I'll start with that, and then that might help with later.
Okay, so you have the $50 tag. Do you have anything else you would use? You can check off your other checks. I'm gonna check them off for you. Do you have any other abilities you would use to assist with the Briberino?
Private Eye. Just thinking, I know the movement. I've done this sort of thing in the past. To
This is part
get
of your job. This is
information.
how you do is
Yeah.
you bribe people.
Yeah, you bribe the
You
officers on site to
disgust
get.
me, MC Holohan. All right. So roll private eye and then add one more for the $50. I'm not gonna let you use $50 that often, but you can use it this once. I don't want to just say like you guys keep paying your way through things, but I like the creativity here. So roll that, and then what'd you
Okay.
say? You got a
Another
great
great
success. Okay, so you can basically put a status on him of bribed, which is great, and then you can what was it? NPCs. Do I have? Here we go. I have a beat cop. I'm gonna put a beat cop over here, and you're giving him a status now. As you can see, you can make the status ongoing, where like this continues to be a thing for like the rest of the scene for the rest of the while. You can propose a different improvement or anything else. Like, what do you want to do? Do you have enough of us feel the system that you get what I'm saying here?
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna make this ongoing,
Mm-hmm.
just in case we need to rely on this guy a little bit more later.
Okay. So you're gonna bribe him, give him level 1 bribe, ongoing. And we can say hide the effect. That means like people don't notice that you're doing it, kind of thing, which seems subtle enough. So you do that. No one witnesses. No one prevents me. It ties my hands from saying that somebody caught this happening.
Okay.
So you can bribed 1 ongoing, and he looks at you, goes, "Yeah, it's a tough night." And he takes the cigarette really smoothly, grabs the cigarette and the $50 bill and the one thing, and just lights the cigarette and just looks and goes, "So what are you doing out here?"
Yeah, believe it or not, we got a call. Somebody asking for help.
Jesus Christ, people aren't supposed to be here.
Got any information about that?
It's
The fuck's going on in here?
it's just some unpleasant business. We're looking into it. This guy, Sam Saddle, hunged himself. I don't know. I'm not conjugating that shit. He offed himself, and we gotta look into it. But it's pretty open and shut. He came in, he ran out of money, killed himself. Not much to do. We've been told not to spend waste too much time on this. So I'm just making sure that the scene's closed off before, scene's not messed with before anybody else comes in and finishes up the investigation.
No, I get it. Gotta make sure everything's clean. Just on the part of my investigation, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, heard any other trouble around here? Folks getting roughed up? Gang called the Sharks, maybe?
No sharks. Are any sharks? There's no game called it. What do you watch? Movies? No.
I just go by
Because-
what they tell me, you know?
I mean, every neighborhood has its own problems with its own people, but this has there's no sharks around here. This guy didn't even have any enemies or anything. People liked him. He was nice. He made some mistakes. That's all.
It happens to the best of us.
He goes, "Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does." So, who are you here for?
Well, you know, I can't divulge my client list. But, yeah, I just figured I'd be a professional snoop. They told me to take a look around here. This is obviously the biggest thing that sets off my spidey senses. You get it?
Spidey senses. The spiders detectives? Did I miss that story?
Just one in particular, I think. It's the whole thing behind the Itsy Bitsy Spider. You know? You think he got washed out at the end? You think that was not, somebody looking too deep into something?
There's a rainfall coming for everybody, my guy. We just got to get as far up the pipe as we can. Listen, anything else you need right now?
I wondered if maybe I could get in and take a look.
Listen, you're a nice guy, but no, I gotta. You know what? He goes, you're a nice guy, but I can't let anybody in there. I get in a lot of trouble with a lot of different people.
Yeah.
If you want to try a convince roll or something to like, try and manipulate him, you can try and do that. You can try and sneak around. You could also, and this is wild, take the risk, which just means do the audacious thing and hope it works out. Or just try and knock him unconscious. These are all options.
Oh, and take your $50 back.
That's $50 I can spend later. Yeah, I played Grand Theft Auto too.
Anything you want to do right now?
I'm gonna try to convince him.
Okay. So basically, convince is a little weird. Essentially, you try and pressure him by putting him in a situation where he'd be like uncomfortable or on his heels, and he has to. And what you do is you're trying to put a status condition on him, like maybe make him feel threatened, maybe make him feel indebted to you, some situation where he basically. It's a carrot and a stick thing. You create a situation where I, as the character, have to decide whether they would rather help you or have the status condition. This could be something like, do this or I break your bones. You will have status condition broken bones. Or it could be like, do this or I'll make your life a living hell. Status condition stressed and anxiety, stuff like that. So if you come up with a thing to threaten him with, or coerce him with, because it might not be a threat.
With
We can
my
go with that.
knowledge of the city, such as it is,
I fear where this is going.
would I know who exactly is in his immediate chain of command?
He has a badge that says he's from Precinct 23, and it would be easy enough for you to figure out who that is, even if you don't know it offhand. You know what?
Okay.
No, you wouldn't know it offhand. No, actually, wait, hold on.
I'm
Give me a
thinking.
really quick investigate roll. Give me a really quick investigate roll for the order of the city.
Okay.
And what ability it says.
I'm thinking routine of the city and
Yeah.
sense the city.
I'm gonna give you routine because it's about the city. It's not like the sense the city is like the physical layout and stuff like that. I'm just gonna give you routine.
Okay. What if
an
I
investigator.
throw private eye in there? As I would be dealing fairly regularly with cops.
Fine. I don't like it. I get a little tricky on what to prove here. I go back and forth on it, but I'm going to err on the side of caution, on the side of generosity for now. So yeah, you got 2. Roll your investigate.
That's a miss.
Yeah, you do know the name of the. I'm going to say you do know, as you're looking at it and you're thinking about it, you realize you do know what Precinct 23 is, and you do know the name of the guy. His name is, I don't know police structure, so I'm going to say Chief. I don't know if that's right. Chief Harding. And you learned a while ago, it's coming back to you now, that you don't fuck with this precinct because they really, really don't like meddlers. And as he does this, as you like sort of think about it, and you sort of like, your eyes widen as you make the revelation of like where you're dipping your toe right now. And one way or another, like, this is gonna, your name's gonna get out there. I'm gonna put, you're getting a status condition of, what is it? Police watch level 1. Any roles or anything that are affected by the fact that the police are specifically like, who the fuck was that guy asking around? May come into play. So for City of Mist, there are not hit gauges. You get status conditions, and then if the status conditions hit again, they stack. So if some other police officer gets curious about you, you get police watch level 2, and then they increase. If a police chief puts out an APB for you, that's severe. So you might get level 3 or 4. See how they add up? And then they stack with each other. If you get level 5, that means that something about that status is so severe that your character can't be used. For example, at a police watch level 5, your character may not feel safe going out. At a level 6, your character is done. You turn in the character sheet for a reason we both agree on. Maybe the police arrested you. Maybe you genuinely feel like you can't be a detective here anymore. It's up for negotiation, but a 6 means you're done. So in City of Mist terms, you have basically taken 1 hit of damage by trying to investigate and it backfiring. Does that all track? Does that all make sense?
Okay.
As he looks at you and goes, so you're like asking, you're looking, and you're clearly trying to like figure out more about him, and he goes, why do you want to know anyway?
Like I said, I'm just doing a bit of an investigation here myself, you know? I'm
Nah,
not trying to cause any shit here. I'm not trying to start nothing with nobody.
no, then you don't have to start anything. I told you, this guy killed himself. It's very sad. Condolences, thoughts, prayers. We're closing it up.
Just saying, you know, you're with the 23rd, eh?
Yeah?
Yeah, I hear your Chief Harding is a bit of a tight ass, eh? Looks down on bribes.
Yeah?
Just a
So,
little.
what about it? You gonna try and convince again?
Yeah. Well,
It
I
sounds
didn't
like you're trying to
convince. I
convince
did
with-
investigate.
Okay,
last
so
time.
you're gonna try and convince, and it sounds like you're trying to give him like a stressed or like a pressured condition.
Yeah.
Threatened. So you're gonna roll. You can use his bribe to give you +1. You can invoke the status of bribe to give you +1, and then I don't know if you have anything else you'd want to use on that. Anything else you want to use to try and?
Just take a quick boo as to what I got here.
I don't think you have a lot for like.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of.
You
Can
don't have
I
anything for like?
can I burn a power on this?
Depends
Or
on the
does-
power.
Does it
I
have
usually
to be?
approve it. It has to be specifically relevant.
It has to be
but,
specifically relevant to this. Okay.
Go ahead. It's fine. Roll the 1 power. Good. I will tell you, there's an ability you probably don't want to use it yet, but I will tell you because anyone that's scrambling technically has a right to know as an American or Canadian. There is an ability
need to
called
be
Stop
insulted.
Holding Back. There's an ability called Stop Holding Back that allows you to do literally anything you can describe or imagine at potential great cost to your character. It could severely damage it, depending on what you're doing, destroy your character. Stop Holding Back could be mythological or it could be logos. Maybe as a police detective or as a detective, you do like your Sherlock Mind Palace thing, you know, and really just solve the whole thing right here. I don't recommend it, but you do get to know that if you want to do that, you can stop holding back and do something here. Or
Okay.
burn a hit, or just try and roll with a 1. You have a 1.
Yeah, that's not great. That basically means that 1 I have to get a 6, right?
With a 2d6. Yep.
Yeah. It gives 2d6?
You always get 2d6 plus 1 plus your 2d6 plus your roll always.
Okay.
It's fine. Look at my eyes; they're so shiny.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm a gambler.
Roll 2d6 plus 1 for convince.
Great success.
So he has to decide between being under investigation, I'd say, or threatened, or helping you. You look at him. You give him $50. He looks at you, goes, "You know, whatever, pal. I don't fucking care." And he's just gonna walk away, just leave the scene, leaving you there. Do you want to let yourself into the store?
Yes, I will.
We're gonna cut back to that. Jade Tamsin, any of these stores are available to you, including helping MC Halloran and CJ Beldam. But where do you want to go?
I'm gonna make sure that CJ is okay, that she's solid and she's good.
CJ, how you feeling?
Solid and good.
Okay, well that
Okay.
was good. This is like you
Then
don't need to do a medicine check. You're just like, yeah, it's okay, it's all right. All right.
so then I'm just gonna go and saunter into the Laser Hot Pizza.
Mhm.
Um, so the way that I carry myself, it's totally a Jessica Jones vibe.
Oh, lovely.
Obviously, a little bit the attitude. I got like the cargo boots that are dangling, clanging with like little
Mhm.
chains and shit like that. So I make my way into the pizza joint and I order a slice.
You go in. I'll have to describe this though. You go into Laser Hot Pizza, and when you
Mhm.
go in, the whole place immediately smells like every pizza ingredient at once, and there's heat in there. And you go in, and there's this arcade machine in the back, and there's these wall of comics on display, and there's all these like superhero like things drawn and painted on the walls, and especially with like Superman shooting laser eyes and Spider-Man shooting laser webs for some reason. Um, and you see this younger kid, probably like 10, um, on the microphone, and he's just Two order for pizza, one because two order for pepperoni pizza, one order for soda. Ready up for the bald man in the corner. Bald man in the corner, your pizza is ready. And then like
A,
as he does this,
a
this
10-year-old?
yeah, 10-year-old, yeah. Um, and as he does this, this guy in the corner goes, "What the hell?" And he stands up, and this other guy, this other kid, like 19, comes in and goes, "Willie, get off there!" And like slaps like a washcloth at him. Goes, "Get." And he goes, "Your pizza's ready," and he like walks away. And um, the that is the scene. You can do what you like to do here, but I very much wanted that cinematic.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So then I'll go up to the counter where I'm assuming it's now the 19-year-old who's
Yeah,
manning the counter.
he's got a name
Uh,
tag that says Michael. Yeah.
Hey,
Mhm.
Mike, sup?
Hi, how can I help you? You want a pizza, soda, coffee, fries?
Just a slice. Just a
Cool.
slice. Whichever one, I don't give a shit.
All right, works for me. Willie, he goes, Willie, get a slice of pepperoni over here. And you hear this other voice in the room goes, "You just told me to go away." He goes, "Willie, get pizza over here. I will kick your ass." He goes, "Fine." And he comes over and he his little brother like comes over, very dramatically puts a slice of pizza on a plate, comes over and slides it to you, and he goes walks up to the microphone and goes, "Slice of pizza for the rock star." And he goes, "She's right here." And he goes, "Okay," walks off. Um, he looks at you, goes, and he gives you the price. You could pay it.
I give him a crumpled dollar bill that I just pull out of my side pocket here. Crumpled.
Thanks.
I'll
He
start.
grabs it.
I'll just take a bite of the pizza. Oh, cold. Perfect. And then
Yeah.
I'll kind of just
Roll
stand
for
there.
nagging. Mhm.
So I'll just kind of turn my way and like lean against the counter as I'm eating it. Like, the hell happened there? Pointing with my chin, like the store that's cordoned off.
He goes, "Oh, it was Sam Saddle. He uh he killed himself. He made some bad choices, and things didn't work out for him. It's a shame."
Oh, that just happened today?
Would you like to make an investigation check, Tammy?
I do.
What do you want to roll with?
What do I want to roll with? I assume I have to uncheck my other thingies.
Yes, you do.
I
The
would.
way that this adventure is stacked, there's so much investigation and not a lot of like action scenes until for a little bit. But go on.
I'm gonna keep my professional snoop because
Mhm.
totally applies.
Mhm.
Absolute nosiness definitely applies, and I'm debating between either my hypnotic charms or just the get them talking kind of thing. You know what?
Now, get
I'm
them
gonna.
talking is a mythos thing, so you'd be trying to enchant him with magic right here.
Hmm. You know what? Yeah. Um, because he did say that it's a shame, but there's got to be more to the story that he's not exactly saying, and that's kind of what I want to try to get out of him.
Okay, so you're trying to actually like pull words out of him with your Loki magic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you get 3.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and before you roll,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and subtract 3. Go ahead and roll investigation.
Okay. And that is a miss with a 5.
You roll a power of 0. I'm doing something here. You do this, and he what do you want to ask him first? Let's say you got this right. What would you have asked him first?
But no, come on, like what's the real story here?
He goes, I don't like to talk about it. I don't want to get involved with it. It's not my business. My lips are sealed. Okay? Is there anything else I can get you? And he does this complete change in his cadence when he says it, and you almost see this gold washing through his eyes, and his body, his whole demeanor changes for just the split moment he says, "My lips are sealed." You realize something magical is flowing through him, keeping him from talking. He has the status condition, "My lips are sealed" 3, and I am subtracting 3 from any rolls that involve him talking about what's going on. You can try and use change the game or something to reduce a status or something like that. But until he gets that removed, he is anything that involves him being talkative gets a -3. Yes. So listen, if you're here for pizza, that's fine. I mean, you got money. He holds up the crumpled dollar bill. Money, technically. I mean, if you anything else you want to ask about, that's okay. I don't want to get into that. Allie, if you want to write yourself into any scene, you can. Because I know your character's sort of open. And Reed will come back to you in a second. But is there anything else you want to do right now, Tammy?
I was debating as I'm kind of mulling over the fact that there's some sort of magic here keeping him quiet type thing. I was going to you know what, I'll still say it even though I know that it's not going to do anything. I'm just going to take another bite of my pizza, or as I do that I'm just going to look at him and give him like little sultry eyes. Oh, I know some ways to make you talk. And as I take my bite of pizza, even though there's a little bit of mozzarella, I will like hanging, I will go like and like wrap my tongue around it as I'm like looking at him. Even though I know it's nothing's gonna come of it. Just want to see how he reacts.
You hear he's looking at you like not really sure what to say, and then you hear this voice from the side, the little kid, Willie, go, "Why are you gross?" And just
Oh, you
look, and
won't
he
think
goes,
that in a couple years, kid.
"You're coming back in a few years?" And Michael goes, "Willie, just go. Just go." He goes, "You just wanted me here for the pizza." And he goes, "Yeah, and now it's served. Get out of here." And Jonesy goes, "Is there anything else that I can do for you? Or if we're flirting, I can talk after the clock when I'm off work."
Ooh, time you get off.
And I almost would say by the time you get off, you hear from the others, like the other, "Ew, Willie, shut up." So yeah. Is there anything else you want to do here at this point, at this moment?
No, I don't think I can get anything else. No, I'll just take a look around as I'm finishing my pizza. I'm just gonna take a look around, see if I can notice if there's any cameras that might be pointing towards there or anything like that.
There aren't any cameras in here.
Hmm.
There aren't any cameras in here at all. Um, when you're here, Willie just like walks over, and the little kid walks over, pulls one of the comics off the display, and sits down and just opens it. And Michael goes, "Willie, don't!" And he goes, "I'm on break." He goes, "You didn't wash your hands. You're supposed to wear gloves." He goes, "Why am I supposed to?" He goes, "Why am I supposed to wear gloves? They're just comics. They're mine too." And he goes, "They're collectible. They're valuable. So put them down." And he's like, "Ah!" And he just like reaches, and he reaches to throw the comic at his brother. His brother goes, "Choo, choo." And Willie just sort of like walks over, puts the comic back on the shelf. He goes, "Better not touch them." Or Michael says, "You better not touch them." And he goes, "Oh, you're the worst."
Hmm.
Anything else you want to do?
I'll just kind of snicker at that as I grab my pizza and I start heading out the door. So I was like, "Bye, Willie. See you later."
Michael's the
Michael."
older one.
Yeah.
Oh, you said that to a
He
10-year-old?
called me a rock star. I'm gonna say
Oh,
bye
okay.
to him personally.
Oh, okay.
I'll say bye, Willie, and that's like, "See you later, Michael."
He goes, "Okay, bye." And Michael goes, Willie goes, "You're gross too." Um, and let's see. Rita, I do want to come back to you, but Allie, is there anything that you want to do right now? I would say with Reed having the door open, like the cop gone, you could go in there too, or you could explore something else.
Oh, I was gonna make a play for the pawnbroker.
Okay. I have an idea, so I want to come back to that. Is that okay?
Yeah.
It's fine. Don't read into it. It's fine. Um, Reed, you are in this one-stop shop. I've described the scene previously. All shut down, all taped off. You find the scene. I assume that you guys communicate things to each other when you get a chance to. And also texting exists in this world, so I'm not going to do information gaps. So what do you want to do? What do you want to see?
I'm going to go for the ledgers that
Mhm.
Ali's mannequin had found earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to take a look at them. So,
All right.
I'm going to investigate, I think.
Okay.
Specifically, I want to see if I suppose I investigate first and then I ask.
Mhm.
So let's see. What I'd like to do here is to go through and I guess again using private eye. It seems very useful in this situation.
Yes.
But also like the routine, just to get a sense of if this guy was regularly getting visitors after hours.
Okay.
So,
All right. Routine. Okay. You know what? Yeah, I like this. So you're gonna like tap into the city and sort of like look at the ledgers and try and get the story of what happened to this building and stuff like that. Is that about right?
yeah, basically.
Okay. So roll and check those off and roll investigation.
Okay.
He rolled a 10.
Hell
We need to
yeah.
have the roll results put on the roll for ball screen somehow, I think, because they're such a crucial part of this in this game. More than D&D. D&D just calls a number, but this one, like, it pops up a whole, like, text display. So I think we probably should do that. But anyway, you have a 10. You get 10 clues. Your eyes sort of fade out as you feel, you know, like when people dream of an out-of-body experience of seeing themselves, you almost see yourself. Well, do you want to describe this? Do you want to describe the visual of this?
Yeah. I think for a moment it'll actually look, as uh, I'm sort of physically touching the things, it will look as if my feet become part of the floor, my hands become part of the countertop, and almost like I'm
Ooh.
melding in with the surroundings to
Oh
get it to tell the
shit.
story.
I love this. As um you fill into the city, so you're connecting to the ledger and to the building itself. You get 2 questions, my dude.
All right. First would be, I want to know, sort of at that point where the business is starting to get going down, was there suddenly people, showing up after hours, that sort of stuff? Like if he was getting regular business visits that are different than there would have been prior to that.
Um, you you see silhouettes of footsteps in very nice. You see silhouettes of figures, and you hear the very nice shoes hitting the pavement in the rain, walking into the store on several different nights. You have this repeated sense, this reverberation in your bones, which is to say, the sidewalk of the building, of someone walking into this building, groups of people, 2 or 3 people walking in more and more. And those same people walking in to the liquor store once, into the pizza place several times, into different buildings down the street, across the city, across the Miller Square. And then you hear one heavy set of footprints walk straight into the one stop shop. And that is the last time there was ever an update on this place as an active business.
Okay.
I like that one. I'm proud of me. Go, Ben.
The heavy set of footprints.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get a sense of where it's coming from? Like where it
Can you be more
originated
specific?
from?
Originated from? You want to track it all the way back to some other place. That's tricky. You see these footprints. Well, I need to know what you mean by coming from, because technically all footprints come from a hospital and then take very many decades to get here. So I need you to be, I'm trying to think about how to answer it, but I'm like, no, actually, what is the question? Like, what do you mean where they're coming from?
If we get the sense that I have knowledge of sort of regular comings and goings within the city, can I ping this to somewhere where they regularly are felt, the same footprints? If
These
they're
footprints,
unusually heavy.
these footprints are regularly felt in all parts of Miller Square more and more, and have been for years, but have also been doing a loop of walking to buildings in Miller Square from a building called Rusty's Bar, a drinking hole, I think is what they call it. Is that what they call it? I don't know. Drinking place. Drinkaroo. I'm edgy. A bar. And that would be one of the big ones there. Those are your 2 questions, I believe.
Okay.
As your sense of the city begins to sort of fade back and you unmeld from the desk and become once again a person just here in time. Elsewhere in this area, Allie, you said you were going to which store? The pawnbrokers? You go into the pawnbrokers. As you do, you walk in, and these 2 men, tall man, a very tall, skinny man, and a sort of short, larger man, go, "Hello, good evening to you. Welcome. We're glad to see you." The other one goes, the shorter one goes, "You seem like an intelligent lady. We're glad that you're here." First one goes, "We're always happy to help. Whether you're looking to buy something or looking for a little bit of money." He's got a walking stick and he leans on it. He goes, "We want to make sure that we assist you in the best way possible. So tell us. And as he's sort of tracing something in the air, you see this sort of light violet energy rippling through him, and a light blue energy rippling through his younger brother. As you see mythos energy, these guys, much like you, are fused with something. He looks at you, and his eyes sort of narrow until he's looking at you like a fox on the prowl. He goes, "What is it that you want?" And this littler one smiles like a cat that ate the canary and goes, "Yeah, we're happy to help." And as the fox and cat stare at you, ready to make a deal, they just want to talk. Let's go on our 15-minute break. I'll see you guys at 50 after.
All right. We will disappear.
I'll see y'all soon. We'll be back. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to ask questions, chat. We're glad you're here. All that stuff.
Back in bed.
So I says to Mabel, we're live. Okay. So hey, welcome back to Roll for Bull. I am GM Ben Competence. I am your MC, your first MC, the true MC, Master of Ceremonies, the storyteller here, for a game that is nothing like Dungeons and Dragons except for all the similarities. It's called City of Mist, a noir detective game that would be very edgy noir pulp, except that there's magic and superpowers. We have our three heroes, an au pair with the power of the other mother from Coraline. Say hello, Allie. We have our hard-boiled detective who carries with him the magic of the city itself. Say hello, Reed.
Hey, how you doing?
And we have a professional organizer and I guess life coach. Is that what the title would that be? Like a life coach advisor thing? I know the job, I just don't know what the title is.
No, just professional organizer.
Professional organizer. Also, the spirit of disorder, as she is enchanted with the power of Loki. Say hello, Tammy.
Hello, Tammy.
Tammy is on a flirt tonight. Everybody needs to be cautious. The woman is fire and lightning, and you need to not get caught in the storm. I warn all of you.
It's the sultry eyes. I'm feeling it. And
also
maybe
the
feel it
tits.
later.
They do provide a certain +2 to charisma checks.
Oh man, I love this guy.
Hi, Fatima. This is a game not like Call of Cthulhu. It's a game similar to Monster of the Week. It's a system called. I didn't notice that. I'm GMing. Monster Week. It's a system called Powered by the Apocalypse. A rule system more for narrative and character moments than combat balance or strategy or action. This is more for very cool things that are very fun to visualize and describe at the table is what the system is for. Our heroes, such that they are investigating a call of a sharks in Miller Square. Miller Square is a small shopping area downtown. And when they go here, they find things are a little dreary, but there was also a suicide at a recent store. At least some people would say it's a suicide. That's what the police say. Our people, they know better. Now, as they're investigating this town, and investigating this situation, Allie, as the beldam, has gone into the pawnbrokers and finds two shop owners, two brothers, who are also, like our heroes, infused with the power of mythology. They are infused with the power of a certain fox and a certain cat, who always have good advice for a person who doesn't know when to listen to their conscience. Allie, you see these here, and the shorter one goes, "Lyle and Dwight, at your service." Tall one goes, "I'm Lyle." He goes, "I'm Dwight. What can I help you with? You looking to buy? You looking to sell?"
I'm hoping you can help.
"We're always glad to help, miss. Always glad to help."
So here's the thing.
Yep.
My Uncle Sal used to run the shop down the street. Got a terrible call today. My mom tells me I need to go get some. I need to sell some stuff so that I can bring home some money so that we can pay for the funeral. You know what I mean?
You sounded a little quiet, a little distant. I don't know.
Sorry, I can speak up.
No, I hear the softness in your voice. I hear just it's losing some syllables.
Yeah.
But you say this, and one goes, the tall one goes, first of all, let me express my condolences for this. And I am very sorry to hear about what happened. Sam was a real column of the community. And the little brother goes, yeah. And he goes, I understand, and if you want to sell us anything, we'll be sure to give you a good deal. We'll be sure to help you out because we're always glad to assist. And he comes over and he tries to put his arm around you, not like in like an affectionate way, but like in a buddy kind of way. Puts his arm around and he goes, so tell me what you need. I'll be glad to help. Now I'm gonna tell you something right now that you're gonna learn a new game mechanic. There's something called Face Danger. It is, for you D&D nerds out there, the equivalent of a saving throw. When you are about to receive something not great, a status condition, basically, you can make a single roll to negate that condition. What's happening right now is, as he says he wants to help you, you feel, even though you can feel and see it, this light violet magic washing over you, and his eyes, narrowed like a fox, looking at you. You feel yourself physically losing the ability to distrust him. I am about to hit you with a status condition of overly trusting level 2. And for each face danger power you can, if you roll face danger and succeed, for each power tag you use, you reduce this by 1. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So what would you use to resist this?
Let's see. Well, probably self-reliance, which is on my defining event.
Mm-hmm.
And probably maybe can't lie to me.
Okay. I want you to take those 2. I'm also going to invoke one of your weaknesses. I'll die without you. Your character being overly dependent on winning the affection of others. You get these 2. So you're going to have a total of power level of 1 for this. But also, in City of Mist, when your weakness is invoked for a story moment, you basically get what's called attention on that card on your sheet. This means that you roleplayed your character even when it was a very bad idea, even if the GM inflicted the roleplaying on you like I did right now. So you get an attention on your card. When you fill up 3 attention points on a card, you basically level up that card. You do not level up as a team like you do in D&D. You don't level up a whole character like you do in D&D. You level up individual personality traits. So as that card gets attention, I want you to roll your core move of facing danger.
See it.
At an 11, you fend off the effect and take no. Yeah. At 11 or above, you shake it off completely. You know that their temptation, that you want to trust people. You want people to feel like they can trust you, and you can feel him almost plucking those strings in the instrument of your mind. But you also know better to rely on yourself and to know what type of people you should lean on. And you push back. You take no status conditions from this at the moment. As he looks at you and realizes this magic isn't working, he goes, all right, so what do you want?
So here's the thing. I was hoping
Yeah.
that I could sell these pearl earrings.
Mm-hmm.
My mom gave them to me, but I was also kind of hoping that you guys could come to my aid in this time of need. My mom she's devastated. She's just beside herself. We don't know what happened. It seemed so out of character. I mean, I know he was having some financial troubles. He told her about it a little bit, but I mean, did you guys see anything? Did you hear anything that was maybe going on with him? I mean, we hadn't spoken recently, but you know, just any insight you could give us.
Well, thing is, we don't really want to get involved in that so much. That's not really our business. Um, I'm going to tell you, Ellie. They can't be investigated because they are not willing to give you information. But you know how your threshold before your character collapses is status level 5, right? On anything?
Mhm.
For any NPC in the game, they have specific what are called spectrums. I'm going to call them thresholds. They have thresholds as to what kind of status they can take before they become putty in your hands. Whether that's because they give up in battle or because they just are scared of you. And so the status they might have multiple thresholds. Like maybe they're, I'll tell you right now, just above board since you're learning, these guys have a very low physical threshold of a status level 2 of injury and kind of a emotional threshold of 3 um, for being scared or afraid. I don't normally give these out. You're supposed to suss them out by gameplay. But essentially, if you get them to status level 2 of injured or status level 3 of threatened or scared, they become, shall we say, much more agreeable. You're welcome to go about this in any other way that you want, but if you're trying to chip away at them through emotional manipulation or threats, that's how that works. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you can use hit them with all you got. That doesn't have to be physical. Hit them with all you got can be an emotional chaos. Tammy's character of Loki can hit them with all you got to pull their mind into disarray. Stuff like that. So
I mean,
I'm giving
could
something
I?
into how.
Sorry. Could I try to hit them with all I've got and get them to? I
Let me ask
guess.
you before you say get them to hit them with all you got is to put a status condition. So what status do you want to put on them?
Um, I would like.
Injured, scared?
I would like to. Trying to think of a good way to put this, but basically the thing I'm going for is trying to make them want to help me. Uh, like
Worst?
yeah, I'm trying to coerce them. I'm trying to make them feel like maybe pity or kindness. I mean, I'm not expecting kindness from them. Maybe like
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm trying to convince them that there's something to be gained by telling me what I want.
Okay, so if you want to if you want to convince them, that's something different. Like if you want them to like actually be tempted, that's one thing. If you want them to feel guilty, that's another.
Okay, I would like to actually convince them.
Okay. So what roles are you making? What powers are you using to convince them then?
Um, so I was going to go with I know what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna go with oh, let me reset my. I was gonna go with I know what you want. And then I was also gonna go with what is it? Caretaker.
Yeah. Yes. I see what you're doing here. Those two for a convince check. I'm gonna say because they definitely want what you have, the jewels and everything. So I'm gonna say that like they help you or they get the condition desperate because they yeah they'd be desperate to not miss out on what you're offering.
Okay.
So get those two, check those two and roll convince.
Okay.
See what'd you get? 9.
9.
Okay. So they can take the status or they can. So basically, they can give you the information, but they don't have to like put themselves in harm's way to do it. They can sort of guide them or protect themselves. So like, the taller one's sort of like this, sort of looking, and the shorter one is like looking at the jewels and just like barely resisting doing grabby hands. And he's just like, um, he goes, it's a real shame what happened to Sam. It's a real shame what happened. We never want anything like that to happen to him because we care about people. We care about people. That's what we do. Tom goes, no, we care. We care so much. And he goes, so the thing is, he's the one who chose to get involved with Honey Lips in the first place. He's the one who chose to make a deal with Honey Lips and borrow money in the first place. We wouldn't do that. We just sell things. We just sell. We just offer opportunity. He goes, now Honey Lips, he's the one who really sets them up with opportunities and money in a way that's a big deal. It's a big deal, and we don't want anything like that to happen to you. We want to be able to make sure that you're taken care of. That's why I want to have a deal that's on the books and above the board. You see.
Of course.
So we would help you out by offering you a pretty decent amount for those jewels of yours, those pearls of yours.
Well, that would be wonderful. Honestly, it would mean the world to us. I mean, my uncle always talked about what a tight-knit community this was and how much he cared about everybody around.
Yeah, it's a real tight. That's why we want to help out everybody. That's why we've been helping. We've been working with the hair salon. We've been working with the one-stop shop. I mean, he came to us first. He pawned his wedding ring before he even went over there. We helped him with that. We wanted to sell it back to him. I think he goes, we wanted to sell it back. It's such a precious thing, a wedding ring. Which, I mean, business is business. Business is business is what I say. We want to help him out with the wedding ring, though. And
I'll reach over and grab one of whoever's hand is closer to me and just like
That's
take
one.
his hand in both of mine and just say, and I know you were going to do right by him. I can just tell I have a feeling about people. It's really such a shame. I would love to be able to ask more questions. I mean, do you know how I could get in touch with Honey Lips? I mean, I would like to straighten things out and make things right, you know?
He looks at the other one, and they both look at each other, and he goes, well, I mean, we don't really go to him. He comes around here, but so how much are you selling that necklace for?
I mean, honestly, we're looking for anything, just the best you can offer. I mean, I trust you.
Glad to hear it. I'm very trustworthy. You get a look and goes, so Honey Lips is at sometimes he shows up at Rusty's bar here. That's where we talked to him a couple of times. And he goes, yeah, we've seen him once or twice. I mean, we've dealt with him. We've talked to him once in a while. It's never pleasant, but like we want to help the people of this town, and so does he. So it happens that we talk to him. So you're there. He goes, so do we have a deal for that necklace?
Of course. I appreciate all the information you've given me. And I'll hold it out like I'm gonna hand it to him, and then I'll pull it back at the last second just for a minute, and I'm just gonna say, and honestly, if I left my number with you, would you get in touch with me if Honey Lips comes around again? I mean, I'm sure I'll be stopping by anyway, but any excuse to come by sooner, I can bring, anything else that my mother is willing to part with.
Yeah, leave your number here. Leave your name and number here. We'll let you know.
Okay. And then I'll hand it over.
You gotta do the number or the necklace?
The necklace and then the number. I have to write it down. But
you give this necklace and he goes, okay, well, he goes, thank you, and pleasure of business with you. He scrabbles out. You guys figure out some numbers. I'm gonna give you a temporary power tag. We're gonna call Wad of Cash level 2.
Okay.
So this could be used once to provide a level 2 bonus to something where a wad of cash would be extremely beneficial. Let me put that on your character sheet. You should see it on there now if you go to your character
Yay.
page.
I see it.
Is it okay if I sync you guys up now and say you guys met up outside of after this?
Yep.
All right, the three of you are in the middle of Miller's Square. What do you guys want to do now?
Probably compare notes.
Okay. Do you want to like role play that, or do you want to fast forward through that part, or?
Yeah, let's roleplay. We haven't done much of
Okay.
that inter-character yet.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. You guys are meeting up just at like a discrete part of the side of the streets. All of you having compared notes. Some of you with more money, some of you with less.
I tell you. You're muted, hon.
Any of you want this rest of this greasy, fucking cold, soggy pizza? It's fucking gross.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Ugh, yeah, you look like you haven't eaten in 3 days.
I mean, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, you take what you get. Anyway, seems like there's some kind of heavy that's been walking through here.
Yeah, I get the feeling his name's Honey Lips. Just based on my conversation with the shop owners over at the pawn shop, you know, I think they're a little bit threatened. I think Honey Lips is pushing a little bit of money around.
Well, I get the impression that maybe there's something else going on. Like there's someone who's, pulling the strings, so to speak, and then, they got an enforcer comes around.
That
So
would make sense.
I got the sense of highly refined tastes, if you get my meaning.
Whoever it is, they're covering up the tracks. And I'll explain about Michael's eyes when I was trying to, like, get in there and get the information. So somebody's definitely used some of their powers to fucking hush them up. So something's going on way more than what they're telling us.
I don't think that Sam killed himself. I think that's a cover-up.
Oh, I'm almost certain there's something that's happened that was not, it wasn't him that did it to himself. You don't send somebody weighing 300 pounds into a business late at night, and then, that's the end of the story for the place.
I wouldn't try anything with the pawnbrokers, by the way. They're like us.
Well, that's even more fun to mess with.
By all means, just don't say I didn't warn you.
I
Anyway.
believe you're so much more sassy and jaded than I thought you were going to be. I mean, it's fun. It's good. It's very good. I'm just like, damn.
Anyway, I get the sense that the enforcer, at least, he comes from a place a bar down the street, Rusty's Hole.
They mentioned that too.
So, it seems like a good place to go to next, perhaps.
Sure would wash away the crap it tastes of that pizza.
It's not that bad.
I mean, drinks are on me, and I'll pull out the wad of cash.
Whoa.
I'm not going to say no.
You talking, girl. Now you're talking.
I'll bring out Isabella, my Mercury Comet, like a 1973 champagne gold Mercury Comet.
Incredible.
Of course.
This is wonderful. Let's say, so you have the car. You guys are going down to the so let me tell you guys, you can go to Rusty's bar right now. You can. I won't stop you. I like it. I got it ready to go. But there is a rule in the game called downtime. Sort of the long rest of City of Mist, but it's a little bit different because with downtime, you guys basically get to describe a montage of cool things your characters did in between the different scenes that can be very, very beneficial to you. Some of them include recovering burned tags. Some of them include investigating things in your spare time. If you investigate in your spare time, you just tell me how you did it, and then you get 3 questions of your choice. You can also prepare for a new scene by just creating power tags and then having them ready to go in the next scene, stuff like that. So there's like ways you could basically prep. Like you can maybe prepare for Rusty's bar by like grab a gun, bring a gun to the scene as a power tag or something like that. Or you could do some research and do investigation, ask questions. These types of things are definitely allowed. Does that make sense? Do you guys want to do a downtime, or do you want to go straight to Rusty's bar?
I could stand for a downtime if we're looking at potentially going into the hive of scum and villainy.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do a downtime.
You guys get ready to head over to the jalopy.
Don't
And
be
you-
insulted now. Isabella's a beautiful dame.
You are walking, and you hear a voice that just says, you hear someone just let out a groan of pain, a grunt of pain, and you hear this voice that goes, Honeylip says it's time for you to pay up. You got the money? Do you got the money? And you hear someone say something, goes, maybe I'm not asking right. And you hear like someone just grunt, it's like shout out in pain in an alleyway down the street from you guys. And you see a bunch of people, like anybody that's in the shops is doing a lot to not notice what's going on. You guys can move on. You can.
Oh, I
Dang.
got it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Oh, I got it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to go put my nose where it don't belong. That's what I do.
Mhm.
You guys turn the corner and you see this well-dressed man, like the fedora, the suspenders, the shirt, like everything, and holding this man up against the wall. And when I say holding him against the wall, I don't mean like he's putting a hand here, you know? I mean he is physically lifting someone that is like his size and pressing him up against the wall, like 2 feet off the floor. And there is a woman standing, looking, watch. You turn the corner, she sees you, she looks at you and goes, yeah, I don't think this concerns you. Keep walking.
I think maybe it does.
She goes, and really cracks her neck, goes, walks up to you, goes, really think that you misunderstand what's your business and what's not. So, I'm going to ask you nicely to let us conduct our practices in private. And as she says this, you see gold ripple through her eyes. And also something else you notice about her right away. This woman is flawless. And I don't just mean, oh, you're encountering a banging hottie. I mean, she literally has perfectly smooth skin, symmetrical features, no marks or anything. She looks almost photoshopped how perfect she looks. And also just sleeves rolled up and muscles, and she's just, and the guy looks over same way as well. Like, you know, you've seen toughs in the street, you've seen private eyes in the street, or like you're a private eye, you've seen criminals in the street. Like sometimes they, you know, they got scars or they've had a rough day. These guys don't even look like they've sweat. And she looks and she says, I'm just gonna say she's threatening you. I'm gonna tell you right now, Reed, all 3 of you are here. Here's how combat works in City of Mist. So the way that basically there's things in City of Mist called hard moves, which is basically when the GM does something fucky to you, like a status condition, a horrible plot point of you guys getting caught, anything bad is called a hard move, right? They're soft moves. I know these sound like they're innuendos waiting to happen. A soft move is when I make it very clear something is about to happen, even if I don't make it clear what, you know what I mean? It's basically blatant foreshadowing. The way combat works is depending on the situation, I make it very clear that something bad is about to happen. One of you can grab the spotlight, i.e., make it about your character, take a single action, and then if at the end of that action, my story's still set where the bad thing will happen, then it happens. Like if I say I'm gonna punch you and you say I make a silly face, I'm like, okay, that doesn't stop. Take punch damage. Does that make sense? But like if I say I'm gonna punch you and you're like, oh, I call out the name of I say Martha, and he stops and goes, why'd you say that name? Okay, then there's not a punch happening.
I'm holding you to a
that's-
higher standard than Batman versus Superman. I'm just gonna let you know
As
right
well,
now.
as well you should. As well you should. So she's looking at you, this almost like flawless muscle woman, just like looking at you and just like, yeah, it's time for you to go. And I'm not saying exactly what she's gonna do, but it's very clear mechanically you have one turn before she makes you leave.
See, you're threatening me. And I got a friend that doesn't like you threatening me. And I'm going to call on my connection with the city. I'm going to make a fire escape ladder fall on her head.
You're gonna hit her with all you got with a fire escape. I love that. Okay, so tell me what tags you're doing, and then I'm gonna check off I'm gonna reset your tags. Tell me what tags you're doing, and then you roll for it, and then we see how that works.
So city protects itself and protect the citizens?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Roll those two. So
actually,
when you do
could
this,
I throw Chaos of the City in as well?
yes,
As even as if it's not necessarily going to stop her, it will provide an impediment.
I will take it this time. Yes, like I said, I don't know when to allow tags and when to not, so I'm going to err on the side of generosity. Take it. Also, we'll see how combat works in a second, but yeah, do those three and then roll hit it with all you got.
Okay.
You rolled a 6 and you missed.
Oh Jesus!
So at a 6 and a miss, you just full on doesn't work out. So you say this. You do this. That let me see. You say that like I have a friend who doesn't like like these people being threatened. The fire ladder, escape ladder rolls down. She looks and she with an arm slams it and it like crashes and hits the wall. And she looks at you. She looks at you up and down and realizes that you're connected to the mythos, and just grabs you and pulls your arm back behind you. So like your arm is like this, and she's holding you. I'm immediately giving you restrained level 3, and she's holding you in place. And you get if I give it to you again, it becomes 4. She holds you in place and she goes, "No, see, I don't think that you get what's going on. This is not your business. And now, if I'm reading this right, you're assaulting me." She looks at the other two, at Beldam and Jade, and says, "Are you two going to cause problems as well? Because if 3 of you are here together, I got a very simple solution." And she twists what is it? She twists MC's arm just a little bit harder, just to make it clear that she has the upper hand in every sense right now. I'm going to let either Allie or Tammy take an action. Oh, I'm sorry. I misspoke on one thing. I apologize. I did make a mistake on one thing. If an enemy's hitting you with something, you always get to face danger to try and mitigate it as a reaction. So if you want to try and reduce how restrained you are, you can make a face danger roll if you have any abilities that would reduce that. I don't see any here, but that's up to you.
Could I face danger and use Always a Road to create an open manhole cover under myself?
Maybe, but you wouldn't be able to get away completely because you're mitigating the damage, not erasing it. So you could do that. Maybe like it would help give you an upper hand, but it wouldn't like. No, yeah, do it. You're right. Do that. Do Always a Road. Go for that. We'll see what happens. Check that off. Roll those 2. Power 1. You take 1. You I'm gonna say the same thing happens, but she grabs you and like she steps back, and as she does, there's like a manhole cover behind her. She goes, "What shit, fucking Allie!" She stands back, and like you feel her grip on you loosen as she's like doesn't have the same footing she had a moment ago. You're restrained level 2. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put action music on. I like this, but this is action music. Allie, Beldam, or Jade, either of you has the spotlight as to what you want to do at this exact moment. This guy over on the wall is like, just goes like, I'll get the money to you next week. And the guy goes, yeah, next week isn't today. Not the way that I look at it. And holds it up. Again, he's holding a whole person above him, and he's not even straining right now.
I was just going to say, yeah, I don't exactly do well with being told what the fuck to do by some fucked up Barbie doll. So maybe you should let go of my friend.
What move are you doing? Are you doing a specific move, or are you just threatening her?
I'm just doing a threat right now.
Like a convince roll, or just a roleplay threat, just to make sure I'm on the same page?
A roleplay threat. Yeah.
Okay, because... Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, just to... I haven't quite figured out what it is I want to do because I'm not sure what she's going to do next, but I want to see how she reacts to that.
So you tell her that you're not... you tell her that you don't take threats from a fucked up Barbie doll, and that maybe she'll let your friend go, and she goes, yeah, I could do that. I can let him go. Just one thing, though. You guys start to hear a snap. Reed, I need you to make a face danger roll against her trying to break your arm.
Okay. I am tough as concrete.
Okay.
And could I throw all... sorry, not that. Where did my other power go? There it is. City protects itself again. To essentially get the city to try to guard me. You know?
How?
The city is going to send up a jet of steam between us through the manhole cover.
Okay. And you're going to try and, like, endure while she does this? Okay.
Yeah.
Take those 2. Roll this. You can also burn something right now if you want to. But yeah. You could try and... Oh, yeah, because you have a fucking bastion. Yeah. Roll those tough and concrete, city protects itself, and go. Yeah.
Mild success at a 7.
You feel your arm start to crack. And how do I put this? Your arm is severely hurt, not completely broken, but as you feel your bones just an inch away, I'm going to tell you this right now. There's no way that a normal person should be able to inflict level 3 pain on someone in a single action. And the only reason your arm isn't broken is because you are a mythos that endures specifically. Anybody else would have a dangling arm right now. Hold on, music. Sorry. Would have a dangling arm right now. So you don't know what's going on with her, but there's something infusing this lady. You have a broken arm too. She lets you go. And she goes, see, now you're threatening me. And now you're calling me names. I never called you names. I just defended myself. But now that you're threatening me, she pulls out a gun, cocks it. She goes, there are a couple other options available. And this guy pinned up the wall goes, just leave, please. I'm not saying Ben is not saying he's gonna shoot one of you, but he is saying you should consider your next actions very carefully. Because I've done my due diligence of foreshadowing something. What was that, Allie?
May I do something now?
Of course.
All right, so I'm going to try to subtly take my needle out and prick my finger again, and this time I'm going to try to, without being perceived as all of this like drama is happening, flick my blood toward the opening of the alley so
Mhm.
that a full-sized mimic pops up that is a replica of the police officer. Um, but like like if we weren't in a dark alley at a distance, it might be obvious that he's not
Mhm.
exactly perfect,
Well,
but like
let me back up.
close
Which
enough.
which move are you trying to do? Is this convince, hit with all
Oh,
you got, change the game?
I'm trying to change the game.
Okay, so you're trying to create a police officer. So okay, so you want to create that because I didn't know if you were trying to like do psychological warfare on her or introduce somebody. So you're trying to create a tag of this person.
I'm trying to create a tag that then someone else can maybe use as like a distraction or to back up a threat
Yeah.
or something.
So you want to make like this imperfect living doll of a police officer with like button eyes that only doesn't look like a monstrosity because of the chaos and the darkness.
Yes. Yeah.
You freaky girl. What what abilities are you using?
So obviously I'm going to use button-eyed mimics.
Mhm.
But I would also like to use, if you'll allow me, perfect mimicry, since I've
Yes.
seen this gentleman
Mhm.
before,
Oh,
and I'm
absolutely.
going for someone specific. And then avoid suspicion because I'm trying to do it without being seen. Like, would that be?
No,
or
no,
is
no. I'm
that-
not going to give it avoid suspicion because avoiding suspicion isn't fundamental to what you're doing here.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
So I'll give you those two.
Okay. Can I
So you
make
have
an
those-
argument? Can I make an argument for driven to compassion?
Explain. You may make an
Well-
argument for it. Whether the argument
So-
succeeds is separate.
So, this is specifically directed as something that I am doing to help the others involved.
No, I'm going to say driven to compassion is when you're expressing compassion in some way. I'm also sort of locking that down because if we start that, then it's going to. And I'm not saying you. I'm saying I've had players where they're like, "Well, that was a compassionate move, and that was a compassionate move," and then it
Yeah.
sort of spills over. So I'm like, okay.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, you can get those
Fair
two,
enough.
and you can roll with that.
Okay, I unchecked like a fool.
Mhm.
All right, there we go. And change the game. As a 5.
You roll a 5. I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna help you out. Not help you out, but I think you're gonna like this. You create this, and because Reed told you everything, right? Like Reed, you caught her up completely, right?
Yeah, we had a chit chat in the middle of the.
So I'm gonna get my camera here. You do this mimic of this police officer, right? And then as you do, there's like this thing that's sort of like this mimic that you said sort of stands up here and just says, "Law, give me money," and just like holds out his hand and lunges forward. And then just sort of like, and she goes, "Jesus fucking Christ!" She turns and shoots it, and the headfall blows open and it falls to the ground. And she used a hard move to kill something, but it's mechanically a thing that doesn't exist. But I really think she would shoot this weird mimic cop at a moment. She just pulls it, and she turns. I'm gonna give her. Oh wait, I didn't put them on the map. Let me do that. I'm gonna give her a condition. I'm gonna give her a condition of what is it? What do you call it whenever someone itchy trigger finger? What do you call it whenever someone's like just an inch away from pulling a button or trigger? It's like
Yeah, itchy trigger finger.
but it's something like thin or something like that. It's like a hair trigger. Yeah. I'm gonna give her itchy trigger finger status of 1. Anything that benefits from her making a snap decision gets a +1. Anything that benefits from her being reasonable gets a -1. As she's got the gun, points at you, she goes, "Oh, okay, so you're like those people too. You're like Honey Lips and all the other people, the people that you're one of the magic ones." And the guy on the wall goes, "I don't know what you guys are talking about. And why the hell did you just shoot a police officer? Do you know what trouble we're in?" Because again, he cannot understand that anything is magical. She's got a gun. She's pointing at the three of you. She's moving it back and forth. I'm going to tell you right now. She's going to use that gun, and because she's on edge. Yes, Tammy?
She's doing whatever here. I'm gonna take out my phone and I'm gonna aim it at her.
Oh, God.
Okay, so this is like a live Instagram feed here. It's not, but I'm telling her
Yeah.
this.
Mhm.
So yeah, go ahead and tell us exactly what it is that you're like. I am recording it, but it's not live. Tell us exactly what it is that you're going to do. That this poor guy that you're trying to like push through the wall here for money that he clearly doesn't have. We really need to know exactly what's going on here. And I would like to try to invoke one of each of my mythos things. I want to use my chaotic magic as well as my hypnotic charms. So I'm wanting for her to put down the gun. I'm sorry, is she still holding on to MC right now?
No. She
No.
let go of him.
She did let go of him. Okay. So I want her to get rid of the gun or empty out the chamber and like basically step down from threatening us and doing us any harm. But I'm also wanting, like that's with my hypnotic charms, but I'm also wanting to invoke chaos to confuse the shit out of her brain.
Let me ask you. What's
Yeah.
the move you want to do on the card? Is it change the game, convince, hit with all you got? Which of these abilities you're trying to do?
Is that one of the crew ones?
Oh, City
Wait.
of the power moves, the list of moves, change the game, hit with all you got. It's in the. I'll tag you again.
Oh, in the chat. Okay.
Mhm.
Sorry, I was not looking at that. Okay.
Because is it okay if I chat or you want me to give you a second to read?
Oh, no, that's okay. I've got it
Uh,
here. I'm just looking.
Because you can try and convince, because it sounds like you're trying to convince and give her like
Yes.
status condition of on edge. So, yeah,
Yep.
because if you're trying to, if you're trying to like, you almost don't need chaos power to do what you're doing because you are genuinely playing actual real mind games with her. Like if you were trying to put her on edge with Loki, you could like actually magically inflict anxiety or something on her. You know what I mean? But if you're trying to make a real world bluff. You're actually pretending to hold a phone and lie to her. So I would say you can use the social media tag. Access to the rich and famous, almost really.
Okay. Yep.
I'm guessing. It feels a little iffy, but I like it. Give those two, and I'm gonna say, so you basically convince her where she has to either drop the gun, or she has to get a status condition of, I don't know, like itchy trigger finger, like maybe goes up to 3 or something. Like she gets more anxious, she gets more overwhelmed. Because again, you can defeat somebody by filling up their like emotional hit gauge, as it were. You know what I mean? So she can basically, you put her in a situation where she has to either set down the gun or take 2 emotional damage. Is what that would do. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so fill it up. This is probably the best use of convince I've seen in one of these games. Roll it up and then roll it, and then we'll see.
So just social media and access to rich and famous, not even the hypnotic charms or chaos magic?
You can use. Okay, well, are you? Because the thing with the chaos magic and hypnotic charms is, are you trying to bluff her with the phone, or are you trying to cast a magic spell on her?
Couldn't you
That's
do
what I'm a
both?
little unclear on.
Yeah, I kind of want to do both. Like deflect, like a magic trick, you know? Deflect, keep your eye over here while I'm doing this over here that you're not seeing.
Oh, fuckaroonie. Okay, so I want you to remove access to the rich and famous.
Okay.
And I want you to check in the 2 magic things. I didn't fully appreciate what you were doing.
Okay.
The phone is a prop in a magic trick. I didn't get that. I thought you were flat out bluffing with the phone.
Okay, so
lovely.
that's under convince.
Mm-hmm. So check off all 3 and then go convince.
Okie dokie.
Hold on, don't click it. Don't click it.
Ah!
Oh, she did it. She did it. No. Did you have all 3 of those checked off?
I think I did.
Okay. Roll again.
Okay.
Check off
Oh
all
no,
3.
no, you took off social media.
I took off all 3 of them because you still had a minus from. You hadn't reset your previous roll, and you had a -3 on your
I don't
roll.
know how to reset.
There's a reset button in the top right corner.
Oh, for God's sake.
Fuckaroni is a food like macaroni. Social media.
Okay.
What spells you use? Hypnotic charms, social media,
And
and what else?
chaos
Okay.
magic.
So there you go. You have the +3. Now roll convince. It should go better.
Okay, so yeah, they're still checked. Okay, convince.
Oh, you're doing a fuckaroni. You think you
That
are?
is a
That's
great success with a 10.
great success with a 10. So she has to either get a level 3 status condition or drop the gun. She looks at this and she believes Arcane Pursuit is in one of my Strahd games, by the way. They're fantastic. They just saw the Arcane. When I told you that a broom almost killed a player, raise your hand. There it is. They just fought the broom. She looks at you and she goes, you know what? We don't need to bring guns into this. We don't need to bring, you don't need to bring their hi, internet. She goes, hi, internet. This is just one of those challenges, make it look like a thing to raise awareness for hair. Put the phone away. Put the phone away. Are you gonna put the phone away? She drops the gun.
Okay.
She drops the gun and steps back. She is no longer making a threat to her in this moment.
Yeah, I'll go like this, like to shook, and then click that it's off, it's locked.
And the other guy lets go of the person on the wall. He falls and like stumbles. You hear him grunt, and the guy goes, "Get out of here! Get the fuck out of here!" And the guy just sort of turns, and he's going to leave unless anyone's going to interrupt him. There's not like reactions or attack of opportunity. Just narratively, do you want to interrupt?
Nope.
He's gonna.
I would like to apply a tag to this scene, so change the game, I guess.
Oh no!
You told him the
Sorry,
rules.
that was-
He's gonna
that-
use them.
Yeah, I'm about to say that is the most fluid, smooth way Reed has referred to the game mechanics in this, and that's just sort of like one of those moments when an anime character talks about their friends in an even voice. You know that you're fucked. What are you doing here?
I'm going to convince the city to bust a gas main. Or to bust a gas line.
Help me out here. Are you going for like a huge explosion, or I'm having trouble visualizing this, and I want to make sure I do this justice.
Right now, I am just hoping to get a gas leak in this back alleyway. So that it starts filling with gas.
No.
While I'm
no.
there smoking a cigarette.
Oh shit!
This is what Change the Game is for, folks, and this I'm absolutely right to be scared. Okay, you know what to check out. You clearly got this. Tell me what tags you're doing so I sign off on them and roll them.
City protects itself, protect the citizens. Because I'm essentially using this as a defensive mechanism. Mutually assured destruction.
Okay, I like this, but for future reference, is anything that helps you both City protects itself and protect the citizens?
I'm thinking City protects itself and protects the citizens because I'm backing up my allies as well as the guy. The guy who's
there you
being
go.
threatened.
Yeah, you know what? Do it. Set up the gas line. Just roll this. Oh, boy. Oh,
Great
good.
success.
It's a critical hit. It's a critical hit. Okay, so what you see there, I don't know if we can show it to the other players, but basically you see all those dots. You can buy, each dot costs 1 point, and you can buy 2 of them. So you can like buy the story tag of there being a gas leak. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Allie, did the rules just click for you on that?
No, for whatever reason, for me, the text is the same color as the background of these cards, and I am just now realizing that there's words on them.
Listen, I don't know what else to say here, so I'm just going to say this with all sincerity. Oh, honey.
Are you maybe on dark
I'm gonna
mode?
send you a screenshot. You tell me how I was supposed to know.
No, it's honest to God. For some reason, I've had multiple players have that problem with City of Mist. I forgot to warn you. That's me. That's on me.
I think it might be dark mode.
It's dark mode. I've had multiple players. So, Reed, you could buy the story tag of there being a gas leak here. I think you wanted.
Yeah.
And then, and then you can buy one other thing. You can actually burn the tag right away, I think, if I'm reading that right. You can just immediately use it. Because this create a story tag, then burn a tag.
Okay.
You want to
Yeah,
create an
because I'm
explosion right now?
I'm not looking to create an explosion. I'm trying to create a situation of mutually assured destruction here. If
So
they
you
can
could
fuck
scale up
off.
you could scale up the effect so that the gas flows through the whole area very quickly.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm thinking right now it's like at a waist height or so.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're starting to get that sulfur smell.
Oh boy. So you have a sulfur smell filling this room, this tag for the whole area. So anybody can invoke this in any role that benefits them. As you create this, you fill this.
I'm gonna start taking a drag on my cigarette there.
Mm-mm.
And I'm gonna say to these guys,
No.
look, buddies, my friend is starting to take this real personal like. Now I'm gonna advise that you fuck the hell off. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna suffer as much as yous are.
Use.
Who the fuck is your friend? Because one of them goes, I don't know who the fuck your friend is, but our friend is the whole Falzoni family. Our friend is Honey Lips. Our friend is a few other people that you don't even know. Fuck.
Take a deep
Our friend's
breath.
all the precinct. And he just sort of. And he turns over to the lady, and he goes, Claire? And she looks at him, and she goes, Roger? And he goes, he looks over and, you know what? She's gonna think for a second, and she's gonna say, you know, you got a lot of tricks, and they're good, and you're pretty dangerous, and I give you that. But the thing is, you might be magical or whatever it is, but we've been given gifts of our own. We got friends in high places, and they made sure that we're taken care of. She goes,
Well,
I'm
let me
about
put
Go
it
on.
this way for you then. I dropped this cigarette. Maybe you'll get to meet him in person.
She goes, I'm about 60% sure that I'll live through an explosion like that. What's your number?
Do you want to play this
You
game?
see the magic. I want you to roll convince right now, whatever you want to do. This is a convince situation. She has an itchy trigger finger of 1.
But
What
the
are you
gun's
rolling
on
on
the
your-
ground, so it's
what are you
not
adding
a
for your
concern, right?
What's that?
You said this. You said the gun was on the ground now, so it's not a
Yes.
concern.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you rolling for convince? You can obviously use the gas, like that's 1.
Yeah.
So I'll add +1 on that because that's immediately relevant.
Could I throw my private eye in there just on the basis that, playing the bluff game is part of my job?
I don't think threatening to blow yourself up falls under private eye responsibilities. I'm not going to give you that one in this case. I see private eye as being hard boiled, but that falls under the compassion thing I was telling Allie. I do not see threatening to blow yourself up as a daily routine of the private eye. Now you know what? You know what? I like this enough. Maybe we don't need to do a convince roll. Maybe we don't need to do a convince roll. You do this. She looks at you. And
Oops.
Roger goes, yeah, we don't need this. Claire goes, yeah, you know what? Maybe it's better I walk away from here. And she starts turning, she goes, and after all, I got a good look at your faces. And she's turning to leave. They are going to walk out with the clear implication that your names and faces are about to be plastered everywhere relevant to them.
Got yours
And
too.
in that way, you do that. She just raises a middle finger as she walks off. He goes, what was it? The guy turns around and goes, yeah, go ahead, report us. See what Precinct 23 has to say about us. And he walks off, leaving you guys there. Is there anything else you guys want to do as they head out?
I'm
Are you
gonna
let them
start
get away?
rubbing my arm.
That's fair. I would say, like, almost as the adrenaline runs off of the scene, just like also the pain sets in. Yeah, you have a broken arm. You have an almost broken arm, my dude. Yeah, she would have. I think, like, you know enough about your magic and what you're capable of and what you can withstand. She almost probably would have pulled your arm off if you were not a mythos built to withstand things. Fatima wanted a big explosion scene where you guys are walking away. So the last time I ran this scenario, I want to tell you guys, I had a player whose mythos was the Bear Jew from Inglourious Bastards. And they just burned for a hit with their baseball bat and just fucking ended these people in like one attack. And just, they did like, I think they did 3 or 4 damage. They did like 3 damage in a single hit, which was their threshold. And I was like, okay, they're unconscious. I'm like, no, it's not just unconscious. I'm like, okay, Jesus Christ. They leave. You guys are here. What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to go into downtime? Do you guys want to leave this scene?
I'm gonna put a call in with local utilities reporting a gas leak.
That is so like making sure to pay 20% tip after getting in a big gunfight at a restaurant. It's such a lovely Boy Scout way to end that moment. Tarantino RPG. I would love it too. There's a sort of an RPG that's coming out that's supposed to be an homage to like bloody action movies like John Wick and stuff. I'll look up the name for you, Stolen Fires, and I'll get it to you. I considered backing it, but I'll find it for you. I think it's called Outnumbered. I think that's the name of the game.
A Tarantino RPG would give you bonus points if you show your feet.
I can't acknowledge that in my world. Reed, your arm just starts hurting. It's overwhelming.
I'd like to walk over to my mimic that is now missing a chunk of its head and just pull on a single string and the whole thing unravels like a scarf.
He looks up at you and he goes, as you're pulling the string, he goes, police.
Do better next time. And then zzz.
Okay. I just like unzip him, unravel him, and he just sort of spills out on the floor like all this like fluff and dust and like little beads that spill out, and then just sort of dissolves.
I ever tell you that's real fucking disturbing?
I mean, yeah.
But hey, if it gets the job done.
I ever tell you you're welcome?
All right. I mean, I probably wasn't gonna blow us up.
I didn't even know how to rule on an explosion like that, which makes me very sad.
I mean, I feel like my employers would have been pretty upset tomorrow morning when there was no one to pick Jem up from school.
We I don't suppose I can invoke my collateral damage weakness in any way here.
How would you do that? I'm open to it.
The fact that I get a bill at the end of the day for the gas line repair.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, I love your questions on here. I'm gonna give you attention for the city endures. It doesn't fit perfectly, but I like what you did, and we're gonna touch bases between sessions. So I'm gonna say, as you guys, discuss and plan your next moves, we're gonna go a couple minutes over because I want to show you guys something. We're gonna as you guys discuss and plan your next moves, sometime later at a bar, these two enforcers are talking to this man, and they're explaining that there's some unusual people there, and asking all kinds of questions. And he goes, very tall, thin guy, and he goes, he's got a thin pencil mustache, almost John Waters. He goes, yeah, I already heard about these people. I already heard about one of them. Something about a pearl necklace in a pawn shop. I got a heads up. They're asking a lot of questions. You know, they can ask all the questions they want. But, I think I got some questions for them, too. Delilah, you want to go talk to them? This woman, stands up tall, powerful, built almost like a wrestler.
Oh, jeez.
Smiles to herself, and as she does, shows her teeth, and teeth, rows upon rows of them. And she goes, sure. I mean, do smell blood in the water. This'll be fun. As she heads out, I am going to end this session, sort of, by giving you guys a status condition as a group called Tracked by Delilah.
Delilah.
When this status condition is currently level 1, it will raise every time you guys do something Delilah would easily be able to find out about at some point in the future. When it gets to 4, she will know exactly where you are at this moment. Now, as we end that session, there's a little game mechanic at the end of each session called Geek Out During the Credits. This is a breakdown at the end of the session where we discuss what happened in that session. And each of you gets a chance to answer one question. And when you do, it can give you a little bit of a boost. The 3 questions are, how has this crew grown this session? Any one of you can answer it. Several of you can answer it. Whenever you answer it, you can either recover a burnt out power tag or give attention, which is experience points, to one of your themes, to the crew theme. You can say which of other character you had the most meaningful interaction with, and then you basically get a point of help or hurt, which is kind of bardic inspiration for them. You can kind of help them. I'll explain more next session, but you give them a boost on one roll. Or you can say which of your themes is under the most strain, and if it collapses, what would replace it? Because if you neglect your logos, a mythos will appear because you're less human. If you neglect your mythos, the logos will appear because you're shutting out the magic. So, do you want to talk about the crew, your interactions, or the strain you're under? I'm going to roll to see who goes first. Tammy, which one of them do you want to discuss? I know.
Which one do we want to discuss, guys?
No, it's you. It's you. I'm asking each person one question.
What was with the interaction one again amongst ourselves?
What is the most meaningful interaction you had with somebody this session? Another player.
Directly or indirectly?
It doesn't specify, so let's go with whatever feels good to you.
Jade giving MC the pizza.
I like this. Why did you like that moment?
Because I felt like I did something good.
That's cute. I like it. You can add 1 point of help on your card, which I'll go over in a little bit. But
Okay.
basically, you can at some point in the next session give Reed a +1 to a roll of your choice, symbolizing your desire to help him. If that makes sense.
Yep.
I'm gonna roll again. Allie.
Right. I'd like to answer the first question.
Okay. How's your crew grown?
I feel like specifically the way that James, yeah, the way that Jade kind of had MC's back during that like moment of tension
Mhm.
and kind of saved his ass. I feel like kind of put a new context on the way we responded in times of actual physical danger.
You can give a help to. It's for the whole crew. That's for the whole crew.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna check off one box of attention on the crew, which basically means the crew is closer to leveling up. That means the abilities that the whole team gets get a little bit stronger. Reed, which of the questions do you want to answer?
I think I'll do the same. So the crew, how's the crew grown this session? Because I feel like at this point, this is probably our first real encounter with, another rift or something supernatural at this point. That it isn't just some rich yokel who we're taking through the washer.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is sort of our first chance to, come up against something a little more than that.
A little more substantial.
And, getting to see that, oh, I guess we're not all that in a can of chips.
There is a lot to discuss, and there are multiple mythos at play here, not all of which are easily understood. We're just getting started, folks. We got 2 more weeks in the mist, 3 more weeks, 3 more weeks, right?
Three more.
3 more weeks in the mist. I think I paced it out. I think I have the story paced out enough that you guys will finish it right in the last session. And it'll be a hell of a time. So, I guess those of you that have any theories or want to help out or just see where the crime goes, where the crime is hidden in the city, tune in next week, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific time. We're doing this little mini campaign. Then we'll be going back to Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, a far more chaotic and horny adventure full of magic and minotaurs and titans. Well, thank you. I've been your host, your secondary MC, Ben Competence, with Allison, Reed, and Tammy. Reed, you want to send us off?
Yeah. Have a good night, everyone.